If I
And
forget tomorrow morning, will you all remind me to record? I don't know why I have such a block against that.
I
But
also want to add, Candace, that I tweaked that form a little bit. I put a section at the top that says, how is the market? And I put in like the mortgage rate, the median sales price, median days on market, inventory, and sales price versus list price. And then the last 24 hours on FMLS in Metro Atlanta and the last 24 hours in areas 13 and 14. So I'm trying to create a habit of looking at the market stats every morning before I get started with lead gen.
that is excellent. And if you share your tweaked sheet with me, I'll post it. I'll ask Bill to post it in the roadmaps. I'm not sure I can. I think I can. But
Okay,
anyway,
and then the other stuff like the general market information, like the mortgage rate I get from the shelter mortgage email that comes out right before the weekend.
yep.
And the other stats from Aubrey's party chatter about the
Excellent.
market
Yep.
from the team meeting. So I'll send it to you.
That's excellent. So this is the sheet that Don is talking about, but we'll post hers because that is fantastic. And that is that's an activity. I just want to applaud that because that's an activity that top realtors do, reviewing the market for a few minutes every day so that you know what's going on. That's our business. It's kind of like if you owned a store and you walk, say you owned a retail store and you walk the aisles of the store and you notice that there were clothes all over the floor. Well, you wouldn't open your shop like that. You'd get your shop ready. So getting on the market, understanding what the rates are, understanding what's happening in the market, new listings taken in our area. You don't have to know every area, just the areas that you work in or the areas where you have buyers or sellers in. But that is just such a great habit. I love hearing that, Donna. So anyway, here's the sheet. It's in the roadmaps. And you can access the roadmaps, of course, from Bill's email that he sends out each week. There's a link to it. And then I just typed in daily success tracker. And we'll put a daily success tracker revised, I think is what we'll call it. So I wanted to go over some ways that you can expand your database. I also, was it in Michelle Slater's class on Friday? The leads to listings class? Well, she was talking about page 119 to 164 in the Red Book. And it's all about how to get leads. So can you see that? Whether you want to earn $1 million or not, this is the science of success. And they talk about, it talks about how to generate leads. But I wanted to go over some ways because everybody has the Red Book, I hope. So 119 to page 164, that's about 50 pages. But you can have a raffle. Everybody, I know some maybe don't want to call it a raffle because sometimes raffles can be illegal, but everybody loves free stuff. So I know that back when I was younger and a little bit more let's put it this way, less cautious from life's lessons. I went to a bunch of merchants that local merchants that not chain stores, but I went and I said, I want to give away some things to have people register and enter, and I want to give them away things, but I also want to highlight our community. Is there anything that you'd like to donate from your store? And I had a whole basket full of things. Some people donated, I got gift cards, some people donated clothes, some people donated baby stuff, and I had this whole big basket of goodies from people that were around in my community that I'd gotten to know over the years. And then I held a raffle and people would register, send their information, and then we would have a big deal. Now you could do it on Zoom. Back then I just had to do it by email, but you could do it. I don't even think back when I did that, we had cell phones. Oh my goodness. So, but you could do a raffle on your social media and just say, hey, I'm highlighting some local stores in our community, and I've got this great basket to give away, and all you need to do is private message me or go put a link on your website that you're going to register and collect their contact information, and then have a big Zoom day when you give away basket. Think of HG, and for those of you who don't know, the HGTV Dream Smart Home is going on right now, and it's a $1.1 million worth of gifts. It's a home in Naples, Florida, that has smart technology like counters that you put your phone on and it charges the phone without any wires. There's a she shed in the garage, which I love. But anyway, it comes with a Mercedes Cabriolet and $100,000. So enter for the HGTV Smart Home. And that's basically what they're doing. And they're collecting people's information so that they can start marketing to them. And they sell all that information to all the people that sponsor that home. Wayfair, I think Ashley Home Store is the one this year. Ashley Home Store, Sherwin Paint, the flooring people. So that's exactly what they're doing. They're increasing their database by giving away a great thing. Also keep good records. It's really important to, like Donna said, the success list. You can track what it's really, when you have a lot of people in your database and you realize that you don't know when you talk to somebody, and it could have been last week or it could have been 6 months ago. The daily success tracker will help you keep that straight, or in command, you can keep that straight. Use your printer. You can print registration cards and send them out to people. If you don't want to do it on social media, you can send them out to different people. You can put registration cards in different vendors. Some places like mailboxes or UPS store might let you leave registrations for whatever you're giving away. And that's a good way to collect as well. Or a free home evaluation. It doesn't have to be a basket that you're giving away. It could be a free home evaluation, and you can print out the cards and just leave them in different vendors where you have relationships. Create a link on your website so that people can click the button. I'm not a fan of having to enter my information before I can get information. And I think as realtors, you have to be able to at least collect an email to give somebody and their address in order to give somebody a home valuation. But I would definitely throw some value out there before you start asking. You might have, I thought this was kind of a cool idea. You might have a, am I still sharing so you can see this? Oh, good, okay. This is bizibl.com marketing download, 10 tips for expanding your database. And I thought if you make a members only kind of club, like a help me be creative here, those of you who don't have COVID head, some sort of club where it's know your market club, and you can have a members only club. You can figure out how to do coupons, discounts for services. I wouldn't discount my commission unless you have to, but you could definitely say, again, we go back to the free market evaluation, or you might take people on a free model home tour and just get a group of people. If you can get a group of people and say, I'm doing a model home tour, and I'm going to point out some of the things that you might not know about new builds. And I would definitely preview that model home before you do that. Go make some friends. I've done things as, I highly recommend volunteering. Does anybody in this group volunteer? What do you do, Michael? You're muted.
I work with the Boy Scouts. I do a lot of work with young people in the Rotary Club. So we do everything all the time for like Foster Care Foundation, North Fulton Charities, Star House, Drake House, basically all the local charities we're heavily involved in. And we do, our club is busy every weekend. There's always things to do that our members are involved in.
Are you able to meet new people, or is it pretty much the core group?
Oh no, we're always meeting new people. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so that's excellent. So are you able to add any of those to your database?
Yeah, I have.
Good.
Yeah,
excellent.
It's great. It's a great way
to
do it.
I love volunteering. First of all, it feels good. Secondly, you do get to meet like-minded people who are typically, people who like to give, and those are people that I like to be around. I volunteer, I haven't in the past couple of weeks, but every other Wednesday I volunteer at a local organic farm. One of the guys that volunteers sold his company for some ungodly amount of money and doesn't ever have to work again. So, and he's into stems. I mean, he was like a medical, he was in the medical research field and brought stem cells to heart doctors because they've found that giving people stem cells who have had heart surgery helps them recover faster with less pain. So I mean, at a farm, meeting people like this. There's do some of you know Francisco Uria? Have you heard of him? He's a guy, a big realtor. He volunteers there as well. This is the first year I've met him, but
Yeah, he used to be in our office.
yeah,
When we first started, he was
exactly.
in our office. So yeah, I know Francisco.
So he volunteers at the farm too. He's a great guy. There's another gentleman that volunteers there. I'm the only woman on Wednesdays for some reason. Usually it used to be just all women, and now I'm so glad because they do all the hard stuff. But I met my husband volunteering as director of exhibitions for the Portrait Society of Atlanta. So you never know who you're going to meet, whether it's a potential client or another realtor to have a relationship with, or potentially a spouse. So I would just say if you find something that you really are, I volunteered at animal rescues before, and just all you do is just sit out there with the puppies and the dogs and encourage people to play with them and pet them. And it's a nice way to spend an afternoon. So I spend a lot of time on volunteering because I think it's a good thing. And you also get known as a realtor who volunteers and brings something to your community. And I think that's important. I think this is be as outgoing with as many customers as possible. If you're standing in the grocery line, talk to the person next to you. If you have a line and there's a few people ahead of you, talk to the person that's next to you. Just start up a conversation. It doesn't have to be about real estate, but just start up a conversation. It's a good habit to get into. If you're I know there are those of you here who have bought coffee for the person standing in line behind you at a Starbucks. That's just a good thing to do during the day, and you never know what's going to end up from that. And it's not always about that person. It's about the person that they might know, or their group of people, because sometimes adding one person adds a whole bunch of people to your database. Do we have any
I will
questions?
tell you,
Say again.
Thursday I went to Kroger to the kiosk to get my car tag, renewed. And there was a lady working there, trying to get hers done ahead of me, and she was struggling with it. She was older, which I'm older. She was older than me. Excuse me. And so, I asked her, I said, well, can I help you? She said, well, I don't know if it's me or the machine or what. Let me just watch you do it and see if, how it works. And I said, okay, that's fine. And so I talked to her as I was walking her through each step. And I had on my name tag, my Keller Williams name tag. And she said, oh, you're with Keller Williams. I've kind of been thinking about moving. I'm just not sure, I've been given it thought. My house is, kind of big for me. And I said, oh, where do you live? Well, come to find out she lives in my neighborhood. And I've lived here since 99. But I'd seen her name, but I'd never met her. And I'm like, oh, well, I do too. And we started talking, and I helped her. She had hand trimmers, and it has a little scanner you have to do. And I think that was really her issue, was that she wasn't able to scan it because of the hand trimmers. So I stayed there and, and I helped her and did her, helped her with hers as well. And so, we're going to talk later on about whether she wants to sell or not. So wear your name tags around too.
I love
Great
that.
job.
I love that. And yes, I think that's the part that I'm so glad you brought up, because I was not going to mention the name tag. But oh my goodness, everybody wants to know about real estate. Everybody wants a home. Everybody wants to know about what's going on in the market. And so that's a great testimony.
That is so true. That has generated so many conversations for me out of nowhere. People, oh, that's just, yeah, the market's crazy, huh? It's been amazing, just out of the blue, Oh, and then I realized, oh, that's right, I'm wearing my name tag.
I love that.
Like, why are you talking to me?
I always wear mine too.
That's so great. I'm gonna order one. I don't have one currently, but I'm gonna order one.
I have 3.
Oh, that's excellent.
I keep at least one in the car.
I love that. I think that's a great idea. Just like the reading glass.
They're cheap. They're like $10.
So keep, do.
Order them, order a half dozen.
And keep them all over the place. I love that. And the second part of that is you got to get out of your house. Wearing your name tag around your house probably isn't going to build your database, but I mean, if you make an excuse to go to, I know this isn't great with the gas as it is right now, but make an excuse to go to the grocery store every day or go to the post office. Post office is great because the lines are typically long, and you know you can always buy stamps for your handwritten letters. So that's a great testimonial. I love that. So those are just some ways. Does anybody else have any ways that they like to build their database that you'd like to share? Hello?
I haven't done it yet, but you know, I've heard I heard somebody was talking about, it was a guy, he was like, he did sports and I think he was like a trainer. He used to work in like jujitsu and he used to teach. And so his clients were, or students were potential clients. And so it kind of gave me the permission, because I think sometimes I don't give myself the permission to do some of the things that I want to do because I put first the things I need to do. And so to live a fuller life, one that's more rewarding, I want, like, I've got a lot of artistic interests. And so, I was thinking near me is the art place. And there are some classes like on pottery or painting. And I thought, I should just do that. I should just sign up the next time they open up, and it'll be a creative outlet for me. And then I can also, meet some of the people there. And because inevitably you'll be able to find a way to insert that you're a realtor, maybe not on the first session, but
Hey, Corey, you can make pottery gifts for all your clients.
I was thinking that. Yeah, I used to do pottery in high school and I loved it. And
then when your classmates ask you, why are you making so many coffee cups? You can say, well, I'm a realtor and I give these out to my clients.
That's right. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's great. So taking classes, that's another way, and that is a way to enjoy. And I also wanted to say that if you're thinking of client events, Corey, I don't know, I know you were on the training with Gene Rivers this past week, but I saw somebody, they were talking about, he was talking about just have a happy hour, and you're going to buy all the bar food and they're going to buy the drinks, but invite your group of people. You don't want to buy 100. You don't want to invite 100 people, but invite, segment it out, invite 10 people this week and 10 people next week, and do different things. And so someone had posted in the chat that she was taking her clients on she was doing a client appreciation event, and it was a berry picking event. And so I Googled where to berry pick here. There's a place in Lawrenceville, there's a place in North Georgia, and blueberries are in right now. So, and the one in Lawrenceville, I think the one in Lawrenceville has hay rides and all kinds of things. So I'm going to call that one in particular and see what it would look like to set up a client appreciation event with hay rides for the kids and things like that. And then other client appreciation events, that would be, you could do you just gave me the idea, Corey, that you could do one of those, they have the paint and sip kind of places. Yeah. And then there's the pottery place right in downtown Alpharetta where you go and you paint the pot, you pick something and you paint it and they fire it up and you get to take it home with you. And it's not that expensive. So you could, pick a group of 5 people and who are interested in something like that, and let them bring their kids and ask them to bring a friend. And if you ask them to bring a friend, they're going to get to know you in a very nice way. And that's one more person to your, or 5 people bring a friend, that's 5 new people you get to meet in one fell shot. So that would be a fun way to meet people as well. And I'm going to do that with the berry picking event. I'm going to say, hey, have your kids bring their friend, their mom, and bring your girlfriends, or bring a family that you are close to, and mom and dad can come and the kids can come, and and I'll ask them to RSVP so I can get an idea about who's coming. But anyway, just some great ideas from this morning. Anybody have any questions?
I have two more ideas
Oh,
that
yay.
because of what you just said. So, well, the first one is, so like this past Saturday, I had a few friends over. I have a fire pit in my backyard, and I've been wanting to do that. And I had thought of this idea a while back of, because I like to, I'm not a kind of person who likes to have like one group of people, and just stay safely in that little, like a lot of people are that, they're fine with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. For me, I think there's something about, I'm always curious about meeting new people and getting different people together. I think it sparks a lot of interesting conversations. But I also value having smaller group settings because it can get too big. And it just kind of is not as intimate. So I thought about having a kind of a backyard fire pit group gathering event series in my backyard this summer, maybe like once a month, or well, that's only like 3 months, but so maybe as much as I can handle, and just kind of picking some random people, not always the same go-tos, but maybe some just interesting people, like we might have some interesting conversations between X, Y, and Z. So that was one. And then the other one was doing okay, wait, hold on a second. Now I'm losing out. I lost my train of thought because there was another event. You said berry picking. I was thinking of doing like an antique, like going to antique stores, like sometimes people like doing that. And so you could create an antique caravan, a day, like pick a day and set it up like, let's say June, pick a day in June. And then whoever wants to come, we'll go to plan out a route, and then we'll go get some lunch, and lunch is on me. And it's just like getting people who have common interests together and creating community and connection.
And that could be your antique club, that could be your creative club for people to join. And if I know there's all those antique shops in Chambly. And if you get to know the vendors, you could do things like, hey, this week so-and-so is giving a 10% off on anything you buy. Because a lot of times in those antique stores, you can haggle anyway. But that's a great idea. So yeah, we've got some good ideas from this morning. And I think I love, I'm somebody who thinks that real estate should be fun. I think life should be fun. And I'm motivated by fun. I'm motivated by giving back, but I'm also motivated by fun. If it's fun, I'm going to do it. And so I think identifying some ways where you can build your database and create relationships with people that are fun. I think we're more likely to do those. Now I'm going to say one more thing, because we can talk ideas all day long, but if we never implement them, we haven't done anything except just had fun talking about them. So what I would recommend that what I'm going to ask what each one of you do is set up a marketing calendar, like Corey was just talking about. She's going to have an event series. Corey, you could go all the way through November potentially. You could have a s'mores day. You could have a hot dog day. You could have you could do just different things around your fire pit, things that you cook on a stick, right? Corn on the cob, whatever. But just get your calendar out and say, this month my database building activity is going to focus on a client event. This month it's going to focus on wearing my name tag and getting out for 28 days of the month. This month it's going to be focusing on giving away an item and having people register for that special gift, whatever it is. And then keep doing that for the 12 months. And if you Google 12-month marketing program, you'll get a lot of different ideas for that. But I would pick some ways you want to build your database, just get it on your calendar and then commit to it. commit to yourself, and start having some fun meeting people. And let's see if we can't get everybody to, does anybody in here have 100 people in their database? Okay, well, let's commit to getting 100 people in our database. And let's set a time limit for that by, let's see if we add 10 people a month. That's very, very conservative. That's 10 months. Oh, that's too conservative. Let's add 20 people a month, so it's only 5 months. And then by this fall, we'll be positioned for next year like crazy. Does that sound good to everybody? Okay, any questions? All right, well, I hope you all have a great day. I hope the first thing you do when you get off this call is you don't put it till later, that you get out your calendar and start doing that right now. And then lead generate. Bye, guys. Have a great day. I'll
Thanks,
see you tomorrow
Candace.
morning.
Thanks,
See you later.
Candace.
Thank
Have a good
you.
day.
Thank you,
Okay, you
Candace.
too. Bye.